Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape lately, you've probably heard some whispers, some rumors swirling around the league, and boy, do they have the potential to shake things up in a big way. The Pittsburgh Steelers, as many of you know, are sitting pretty in the AFC North with a solid 4-3 record, leading their division and looking to make a serious push towards the playoffs. But what if I told you that a blockbuster trade could be on the horizon, one that might redefine their entire offensive identity and propel them even further into Super Bowl contention? That's right, we're talking about the potential acquisition of a superstar receiver, and not just any receiver, Mike Evans from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Isn't Evans a bit long in the tooth at 30, 31, or even 32? Well, yes, but don't let age fool you. Evans has been a dominant force in the league for years, and his recent stats, combined with his veteran savvy, make him a game-changer. Let's first talk about the context here. The Buccaneers, after their Super Bowl win in 2020, have been in a bit of a rebuild mode, especially after Tom Brady's departure. Currently sitting at a dismal 2-5, they're struggling on both sides of the ball. Their defense has been leaking points, allowing nearly 29 points per game, which is quite alarming for a team that was once known for its stout defense. Meanwhile, their offense is also in flux, primarily because the offensive line isn't giving Baker Mayfield enough protection. Tampa's management is well aware that they need to make some bold moves to turn things around. And interestingly enough, sources close to the league are whispering that the Buccaneers are willing to part ways with Mike Evans in exchange for a first-round pick in 2026 and a third-round pick in 2027. The idea here is to free up about $18 million in cap space, money that could be redirected towards extending young talents like Vita V, who's been a bright spot on their defensive line. Now, imagine that for a second. The Steelers, with around $17 million in cap space, are already looking at ways to bolster their roster for a playoff push. And adding a receiver of Evans's caliber could be just the piece they need to elevate their aerial attack to a whole new level. Pittsburgh's passing game has been solid but inconsistent at times, and Evans could be the veteran presence and reliable target that transforms their offense. With his impressive career stats, over 200 yards receiving, 94 touchdowns, and a career average of 15.2 yards per reception, Evans is no ordinary wideout. He's a true vertical threat, capable of stretching defenses and creating mismatches, especially when paired with a quarterback like Russell Wilson, who's been performing well this season with a QBR of 92. 4. What makes Evans so special? Well, for starters, his ability to make contested catches is off the charts. The man has a career PFF grade of 89. 4, and he's been consistently reliable in clutch situations. In 2025, up until September 15th, he's already caught 28 passes for 412 yards and 5 touchdowns. Even with a recent ankle injury that limited him to just 4 games, he's shown that he can still be a dominant force, especially in the red zone where he's racked up 12 touchdowns in 2024. That red zone prowess is exactly what the Steelers need to convert more third downs, raising their conversion rate from 38% to 45%, and to finish drives with points. And let's not forget, Evans is a 4-time All-Pro with a low drop rate of just 18%, which speaks volumes about his hands and focus. Now, considering the Steelers' current roster, adding Evans would be like injecting a high-octane fuel into their offense. He would be the perfect complement to George Pickens, creating a dynamic duo that defenses would have a hard time containing. Evans's presence on the field stretches defenses vertically, opening up space underneath for Najee Harris to operate. His ability to win contested catches, over 68% of the time, combined with his speed and route-running ability, would give the Steelers a true vertical threat that they have lacked since the days of Big Ben and Hines Ward. Remember, Evans's impact isn't just about his yards and touchdowns. It's about how defenses have to adjust to his presence, creating mismatches and opportunities across the field. And from a strategic standpoint, this move could be a game-changer for the Steelers. With Evans stretching the field, the entire offense opens up. More big plays, better third down conversions, and an ability to control the clock with a potent rushing attack that benefits from a more balanced aerial attack. It's a recipe for success that could elevate Pittsburgh's chances of making a deep playoff run and even contending for another Super Bowl. The odds, which currently hover around +1,800, could see a significant shift, potentially dropping to +800, making the Steelers serious contenders in the postseason. Imagine Evans catching 3 touchdowns in a playoff game, acting as the X-factor against top-tier defenses like Kansas City's. His experience in postseason battles with 3 career playoff touchdowns adds a layer of clutch potential that the Steelers desperately need as they aim to go all the way. Now, looking at the AFC North as a whole, this potential trade could reshape the division. The Ravens are formidable, but if the Steelers bolster their passing game with Evans, they could start to pull away, establishing a new dominance reminiscent of the Big Ben era. Evans's presence would not only elevate the offense, but also energize the entire team, bringing back that gritty, Steel City mentality that the Steelers are known for. The defense, which has been solid, can now focus on creating turnovers and putting pressure on opposing quarterbacks, knowing they have a reliable receiver to target on every down. It's a complete package: offense, defense, special teams, all aligned for a serious Super Bowl push. Of course, this kind of move isn't just about immediate gain, it's about building a sustainable contender. The Steelers have been patient, drafting well and developing young talent, but adding a veteran like Evans could accelerate their window of contention, giving them that extra edge they need to beat teams like the Chiefs, Bills, or Bengals. It's a bold move, yes, but sometimes in the NFL, the boldest moves are what separate champions from also-rans. And considering the current landscape, the Steelers are in a prime position to make that leap. The coaching staff, led by head coach Mike Tomlin, is always looking for ways to adapt and improve, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're already exploring this possibility behind the scenes. Now, let's talk about the impact on Tampa Bay. As much as they're rebuilding, trading Evans would be a statement move, acknowledging that they're prioritizing the future and cap flexibility over immediate success. The Buccaneers are clearly eyeing a rebuild, focusing on younger players and draft picks to set themselves up for sustained success down the line. Moving Evans would clear a path for their younger receivers, give them more cap space, and perhaps allow them to target additional draft capital to rebuild their roster more comprehensively. It's a smart strategic move from Tampa's perspective, even if it stings for their fans and for Evans himself, who's been such a key part of their offense for years. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, this kind of acquisition would be a statement to the rest of the league. It signals that they're not just content with being playoff contenders. They're aiming for the top, for a Super Bowl run that could cement their legacy once again. With Evans, they'd have a receiver capable of taking over games, a veteran presence who brings leadership and consistency. And let's not forget, Evans's ability to make contested catches and dominate in the red zone aligns perfectly with the Steelers' identity: tough, resilient, relentless. In the end, folks, this isn't just speculation. It's a scenario that makes a lot of sense given the current state of the league and the teams involved. The potential for a trade like this to reshape the AFC North, to boost the Steelers' chances, and to energize the fan base is enormous. We've seen how a single player can change the trajectory of a franchise, and Evans's skill set and experience make him a perfect fit for Pittsburgh's ambitions. So, as we wait for any official announcements, keep your eyes peeled. This could be the move that sets the Steelers apart this season, turning their solid 4-3 record into something even more special. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. Do you think Evans would be the missing piece? Would he elevate the team to a Super Bowl contender? Or do you think the Steelers should focus on other areas of the roster? Whatever your thoughts, we love hearing from you. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more news, more analysis on your beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep the Steelers' fire burning bright.